This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Here is Parker Fox. He's a game changer. 3-2. Here is Parker Fox, a game changer on the basketball court as the power and power forward. And I'm also on the radio as co-host of Wolves Fan Line, Parker Howls with the homies. You can follow him via the tweet machine, via Twitter, as 9 to noon does, at Parker Fox24. And speaking of tweeting, first and foremost, good morning.
Good morning.
You're tweeting. You got a little excited, didn't you, when tweeting, stand up, Target Center, Wolves in 5.
I always love that one.
I mean, when you were in that building, Paul, you were in that building.
You were so fired up with that tweet.
Well, I'm sitting next to Max Fuller, who, is the fire up of the fire uppers. So, he's a guy that you just, his energy is contagious. Mm-hmm. But you felt it in that building, 18,000 strong in Target Center, man. That was electric.
You know what else I felt? Was the fat L I took, thinking I timed up the pregame show with you and Max. Driving in, hit a little patch on 394, which cost me 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's been brutal.
And the parking situation was fine. But I timed it up, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to go say hi to the homies and catch the end of the pregame show, which ended 45 minutes before or probably 10 minutes or 20 minutes before I thought it would end. Mm-hmm. Was that a shorter than normal pregame show?
Yeah, it was a shorter.
What the hell?
Game 3, we went an hour and a half.
Oh, so I should have gotten there. Oh, game 3
Game 3 we did, yeah. Game 4, we ended up going only like a quick little half hour. It was just really me and Max. I think John Barry stopped by briefly.
John Barry's cool.
John Barry's the best.
He does a good job.
Yeah, he's the best. But Wednesday, we're back at it. Me and Max are back at it. I think we're going from 7 to 8.
Wednesday?
7 to 8:30 for that 9 o'clock tip.
In the business, we call it tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, so that'll be tomorrow.
Yes,
for a pregame
tomorrow.
show.
That is tomorrow.
Well, sweet. That's cool.
We're back and rolling.
What about, speaking of Parker Fox and tweeting, what about this one? It's this one, quote, the Wolves are so fire. Target Center is lit. This whole fourth quarter has been Gucci. Austin Reeves has lost all of his riz. I'm like, what?
I always love that one.
What does that mean?
You're the one that wrote that. So
You're the one that tweeted it. What does it mean? All right. Or this one. When Parker's in Prague. All right. So he was there for like basically 2.5 weeks and 9 to noon missed him. P. Fox tweets, the food here in Prague is bussin'. The chef is Sigma.
No cap.
His food is fire. And to the guy who told us to go across the street, your cap.
Where did you get the word Sigma, man?
Are you doing okay?
You should know Sigma.
Love that one.
Do you know what Sigma is?
Yeah, of
so
course.
it's a real word. It's a real.
It is. It's these brain rot terms.
That's
man.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a secret little search bit that I go to when I put these things together.
What is it? Abbott's whiteboard?
No. The place I go to is Fire. It's Fire. Make sure you hit that sub button. Don't forget to hit the bell.
Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, make sure don't forget to hit that sub button until next time.
Oh man.
Okay. That's right. So, who's going to enter the chat now? I'm doing Box in the Box Thursday from Tria. Oh, no, 3-2. What did you enjoy about 2.5 weeks in Prague with your beloved T. Heisey?
Oh, first time in Europe, so that was a new experience for me.
Was it fire?
It was fire.
Yeah,
no cap. No, it was a blast.
For real.
It was for real.
Hit the sub button.
U.S. national team took care of Canada, took care of all the other nations in that tournament, and ended up winning. Then it was cool to see Taylor just have an awesome championship game. Scored a big goal to put them up 3-2. Canada responded, went into overtime, and just a 15-minute intense 3-on-3 overtime. Like, so many awesome opportunities. But Taylor finally got a steal along kind of near the blue line as they were making a change, as Canada was making a change, and then hit a backdoor pass to Penn State's Tessa Janicki to score that one. She threw the stick into the crowd, and
really?
We celebrated the night away. So
That's awesome.
It was a fun time. It was a tough next travel day because the bus left our hotel at 1:45 a.m. So it was a tough one, but it was an awesome time and super just fun to support her and kind of see some new sights and sounds. And I'm proud of her.
That's sweet. And when I introduced you to somebody, it might have been the flight attendant this weekend.
Yes.
And I was mentioning Taylor Heisey. And I didn't overstate this, man, when I said that your girlfriend legitimately can be considered one of the best women, one of the best female hockey players.
Certainly.
In the world.
Certainly, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like quick twitch, top of the head, who else will be in that conversation?
Yeah, there's Canada's team captain, Marie-Philippe Poulin.
Okay.
She's won MVP this year. So she's
okay, but we're in the conversation.
But we're in the conversation.
With Abby Murphy.
Abby Murphy, too.
Yeah, she's in the chat.
Murph's the bomb, man. Murph's the bomb. Just saw her yesterday at the coveted cafeteria down at the University of Minnesota. And
I'm so glad you said that because you had another tweet, a real tweet that I forgot to put in the chat.
Did I really?
Yeah, it's so in the super special, coveted, private, exclusive, athletes only cafeteria at the University of Minnesota. Ever run into Matthew Nyes?
Of course.
Yeah, so I saw you retweeted.
Yes.
And Johnny the Mouse
Big
Mickelson,
goal.
captain of the 83 Wayzata Club hockey team, super formidable, and he wore the C for a club hockey team. It's like when every time Nyes scores, I think of the Mouse because he follows hockey super closely, college hockey fan, including Brad Frost's team, so like knows a lot about Taylor, Abby Murphy, Zumwinkle, stuff like that. And I guess I didn't realize how good Matthew Nyes was. He's the bomb, isn't he?
He's the bomb. Playing on that first/second line out in Toronto with that Maple Leafs team is playing well right now. Brett, you know what that series is out there in Toronto? I think
there in Toronto, still 3-1.
Still 3-1.
Yeah.
So Nyes.
Game 5 tonight.
Okay, Game 5 tonight. Yeah, Nyes, he's the truth, man. He's a great dude. He actually dates Abby Murphy's best friend, Ella Huber, who's also on the women's team. So, small connection, small world. We all like to hang out with one another. And Nyes, he's a great kid, and he's a heck of a hockey player. He's been fun to kind of watch that kind of transcendence from college hockey to the pros, and he hasn't really skipped a beat. He's got so much size and strength. I think that's something that helps him a lot as well. He can get in front of the net and make plays, put stick on puck, but he also can bang in the corner and then spray it out to those defenders they have in Toronto, and they can fire him on net. So he's a good dude, and it's fun.
Did you hear
it's
what
fun
you
to
just
watch.
said?
What did I say?
Are you kidding me with that? That was fire.
I know a little hockey, man.
Were you an elite hockey mind pre-Heisey?
No, I was put the sticks in the middle and throw them to each way and play a little street ball out in down in Matamidi on Herb Brooks Way. You never heard of that one, huh?
Clip that, chat.
I don't know what is next for you professionally, but a voice with the Spit and Chicklets bit or an NHL network working next to Mike Rupp.
I'll leave that one to Taylor.
That could be that was really good what you just said. Okay, Box in the Box Thursday from Tria. I just learned the Frost are on like a 100-day road trip, so we won't see the Frost there for practice. 3-2. If the Wolves close the series Wednesday night.
Yes.
Oh yeah, how about this? Deep breath. If the Wolves close the series Wednesday night, do you want to come to Tria in St. Paul for the Wild's morning skate and then join 9 to noon for part of the final hour to celebrate the Wolves?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Would you be in on that?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, that'd be a blast.
Okay, so I got Box in the Box Thursday. Wolves play Wednesday night.
Perfect.
If they close the series, I know I'm going to be looking for some Wolves guests on Thursday, more on Friday. All right, so let's keep that in mind.
Let's do it.
I'll get with Sicky and see if we can pull that thing off. Let's pause right now and get into the Wolves and the Lakers. That's going to include something I said yesterday, but Parker has more of a trained eye than me. I believe the Minnesota Timberwolves took the absolute best shot the LA Lakers can deliver, and Lake Show couldn't get the money. We'll see what Parker thinks about that, but let's give away some money.
The cash thing, the fan and BigDeck.com wants to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. Head to KFAN.com and the keyword fun. The keyword is fun, KFAN.com.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Keyword first.
Yeah, but
Why don't you put your pants back on, Slappy? You can't talk that way and take it seriously.
All right. Pete Fox, Parker Fox, the best. So I think the Timberwolves took the Lakers' best shot, still won the game. Are you on board with that, or do you think that take is whack?
I think it's a great take. I think we did, and like we've seen, this Lakers team doesn't have the depth that this Timberwolves team does, and I think that's something that was pivotal just in that Game 3, but also Game 4. Just kind of taking that big punch from LeBron and Luka, and obviously Luka was. They were saying he was a little sick in that Game 3, had a little stomach bug.
Oh, you could tell he did.
You could tell he did.
I mean, he wasn't even talking bleep to the refs.
No, he wasn't.
He was so off.
Yeah, he wasn't. And he was more like himself in that Game 4. But the Wolves just had too much depth, and they ran him out of the gym. And, they talk about the coaching decisions, and I think a lot of people were kind of upset at J.J. Redick's decision not to make any substitutions in the second half of Game 4. It kind of got criticized. But I understand it because he didn't have any direction to go. He didn't have anybody that he felt confident putting in there. And I think it came back to bite him a little bit. And when you have a 40-year-old superstar in LeBron James and Luka Doncic, it's not playing defense anyways. When you're trying to win a basketball game down the stretch, you got to have energy in the final 3 minutes. And that's where the Wolves really separated and won that one. So I think you're right. They did take the best punch, but it is going back to L.A. now. So. Yeah. Role players play better in LA. I think JJ's probably going to go to that bench a little bit more. But if he does, you got to take advantage of that if you're the Wolves and continue to dominate, especially dominate in the paint. That's where they've been their most dominant inside the paint, with no blocking effort from the Lakers around the paint. It's been night and day the difference in paint points that favors the Timberwolves.
So that's a thing. Role players generally play better at home.
Yeah, that's kind of like a thing. Obviously, every gym's different, right? Like Crypto.com Arena, they do the thing where they kind of black out the stands. Yeah. So I don't know if you ever seen it in there.
Gabe Vincent hit a couple of threes there early, and it was key. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like nothing here.
Yeah, no, Gabe Vincent's exactly a great name to bring up. Dorian Finney-Smith, another good name to bring up. Guys that kind of get those spot minutes. Obviously, we saw Dorian Finney-Smith play over 40 minutes in Game 4, but guys that get those spot minutes, when they go back home, they're used to the rims, they're used to the ball, they're used to the arena, all that kind of stuff, and their prep and all that's kind of the same versus going on the road and doing something different. And I know that's very minuscule. It's a small different, but it does play a factor. So I'm still looking for the Wolves to take advantage, especially in the paint. That's been something that I mentioned earlier. The J.J. Redick even admitted that their interior defense was exposed with Jackson Hayes, their starting center, only playing 4 minutes. So that's something that we got to look for.
Their interior defense is exposed when Jackson Hayes plays.
That's true.
Well, seriously, he ain't much.
That's true.
And he's out to lunch, man. And generally speaking, and I think that plays in a lot. Plus fouls. It's by the first whistle, he has 3 fouls.
Yeah.
Every single game. All right. Speaking of J.J. Redick, props to J.J. Redick. I don't know how to describe them. He has some nice plays.
Yeah.
Like those backside picks off motion. It's the second, it's the pass, but it's the pick from the pass, away from the pass, the backside picks, and there's always motion.
Yeah.
That can take a little while to get used to.
Yeah, this Lakers team is clearly exposing our over rotation on the defensive end. It's been something that has hurt us a little bit, but I think Chris Finch had kind of figured it out in Game 4. There was a couple times in Game 3 and midway through Game 4 where we just saw, and you saw it being at the game, there were just a lot of missed wide open 3-pointers for the Lakers. Like you saw that as well. It wasn't just me, right? So there's a
Wolves game too. Same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Just a lot of missed wide open threes, and that is a result of kind of over rotation. So when Luka Doncic has the ball at the point guard position, he's getting ball screens. You got to either switch or you got to hedge hard. And what that does is you're putting two people on the ball. So now Luka and LeBron, those primary ball handlers, are being able to kind of just make plays and throw skip passes and throw one more passes, which results in rotation on the defensive end. That's why we didn't see much Rudy Gobert in that second half because of that backside rotation. But you don't want to play basketball wishing somebody misses.
Yeah.
You want to be able to try to force misses.
Love it.
So that's something I think on the defensive end that the Wolves just have to focus on, is not giving up wide open threes. And just, even if you're there with a hand to contest, it makes a whole difference.
And you know what? Speaking of Jackson Hayes, a question about him. Has Jackson Hayes lost all of his aura points this series? And is it possible for kids these days to earn back aura points?
Oh man, we're going down this route here.
He's lost all of his aura points.
He has lost a lot of aura. I think he got put in a really tough situation too, and you don't want to give anybody a cop out. But he's a 24-year-old, a 7-footer who is anchoring the Lakers defense, who used to be anchored by a superstar in Anthony Davis, who did things on both sides of the ball. And yeah, you brought in Luka Doncic, another superstar, but it's a different position. And LeBron James is the primary ball handler, just like Luka is. And you got rid of your off ball handler. You got rid of your rim protector in Anthony Davis. And now you're putting the pressure on one guy, which is a 7-foot, 24-year-old Jackson Hayes, who hasn't solidified himself really as anything in the league. He was a decent player at Texas. Obviously has etched himself as a decent NBA player, but it's just too much pressure for that guy down there. I don't know. I love what Julius Randle has been doing. I love the way he's been getting in the paint and just using his size and physicality. For me, that's been the difference maker in this series.
Big time. Parker Fox at is it Parker Fox?
Parker Fox 2-3.
Parker Fox 2-3, 2-4.
Yeah, maybe 2-4.
It's 2-4.
One or the other.
Well, you're a kid. It's Insta, it's TikTok,
we got everything
Finsta,
out there. Right?
It's just all that kind of stuff. 3-2. So I'm assuming, in your estimation, you think this series smacks so far, right?
Yeah, I think it's been a great series. You and me talked about it before look at you.
You didn't get that one.
No, I got it.
It was normal from the old guy.
I'm just avoiding this brain rot talk over here.
All right, hold on. Is Luka too extra with the ref sometimes?
Well, I think that's an obvious one, right?
Okay. After the win, did you want to yeet confetti all over the floor? It was quite the celebration. It was fire.
No, the series isn't over, PA. The series is not over.
Good point.
You're like Max Fuller. Max Fuller wants to, move on to
How is the series not over, you fraud?
Because
it was you with a legitimate tweet. The Target Center is fire. Timberwolves in 5.
Because LeBron has won and came back from 3-1s before in the past. And as a LeBron fan myself, it's something that, it brings me flashbacks to the 2016 NBA Finals when LeBron and the Cleveland Cavaliers came back from a 3-1 deficit to defeat Golden State, and who was the 73-9 Golden State team. Like, we've seen this done before.
Yep.
But now he's 40. And now he's a little bit older.
Who was the third best player on that team? Because I was going to be like, if you think Kyrie Irving's going to walk in here, it's not going to happen. But Luka can offset Kyrie. So who was Tristan Thompson was a great offensive rebounder. Like, who was the Cavs? Who would their third have been that year? Their 3 in the MV3.
Oh man, you had who would have been on that team?
You got LeBron, Kyrie Irving.
You would have had Kevin Love.
Yeah, Love. You
would have had Iman Shumpert, Richard Jefferson.
Jefferson's kind of a 3.
That's probably your that's probably your best bet there.
Yeah, it's kind of like these Lakers. It was an MB2. So we'll close with this. So LeBron, you're a fan. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I respect him. a lot. What do you think of LeBron's Game 4 and his series so far?
Yeah, I think it's going to be evident early in the first quarter. Kind of.
What did you think of how he played Game 4?
Oh, Game 4.
Yeah, having played the 40 minutes, man.
Well, yeah, I thought he was great in Game 4. I thought he did a lot of
defense.
Yeah, I thought he did a lot of excellent things. And if you're watching him on the defensive end, especially just his presence in the gap, which is, for those of you that don't know what the gap is, when there's a primary ball handler and there's a wing defender, he's kind of splitting the difference between those two guys. So he's playing both. And when you're guarding Anthony Edwards can beat anybody in the world off the dribble. So you have to have heavy gap presence. So now it's the most difficult thing in sports. How do you play the gap and close out to your defender and make a tough three? And I thought LeBron did that excellent in Game 4. And I think he's going to continue that defensive prowess in Game 5, but they're going to need more from him on the offensive end. Even though he's putting up 30 and 10 in these games, they're going to need more from him and Luka because they're not getting any paint scoring. It's all going to have to be done from three. But like we mentioned, man, I think the Wolves are too much. There's too much depth. Naz Reid himself is outscoring the Lakers bench. I think this one ends in 5 in LA.
And good for Naz. I mean, you've probably pushed through this in certain situations. Naz was awful in Game 4 for a long stretch. And then I'm like, okay, well, because I'm P. Fox raised, now, look, he went to the basket. Yep. Okay, so he's going to get himself aggressive.
Hooper whistle.
Well, then he misses the free throw. Then he does it again. Misses another free throw after going to the basket again. But then those threes late by Naz Reid, what a closer. But you know what? Seriously speaking, Nickeil Alexander-Walker has struggled all series.
Certainly has.
You see Fenchie and guys, just he's making defensive mistakes. I don't know what they are, but like when somebody hits a three in front of the Wolves bench, it's Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I guarantee you who's taking the L. Because he's the one that he shrugs his shoulders or whatever. So hopefully he can get himself right. I really, really like the season he just had.
Yeah.
But in closing, I would just let Jonathan Goodwin shoot whenever he and his mask want to shoot.
I agree.
I mean, his shot is broken. It's anything but gas. It's a good strategy, right?
Yeah, it's a great strategy. Jordan Goodwin out of St. Louis.
It's Jordan, Jonathan?
No, Jordan Goodwin, out of St. Louis. Not as skilled, not known for his 3-point shooting ability. Been in the league for a couple years now, Washington, Phoenix, Memphis, and LA, but hasn't ever shot above 32% really from three. So he's a guy that, like we mentioned, you don't just want to leave guys open. They're NBA players. They're going to make, any guy in the NBA can make 6 threes in a row type of deal, So
no, Jordan Goodwin. And his mask,
you don't believe in
making
him?
6 in a row. All right, so before you leave, don't forget to hit that sub button and the notifications bell.
Shout out to the chat.
So you can get 9 to noon whenever we drop something new. And I appreciate you joining the chat.
Thanks, PA. Love you.
I love you too. Parker Fox at Parker Fox 24. The Vox of all Voxes ever to Vox. Alan Roach joins 9.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
To noon next. The batter, number 1, Alan Roach. Good morning, Roachy.
Good morning, PA. How are we today?
Doing about as well as you now, because I've been thinking a lot about you. Alan Roach, the voice of everything significant in the world, including the NFL draft. And with the draft taking place in Green Bay, Wisconsin, one of your least favorite places in the world, I'm just happy to know that you got out alive, my man. How you holding up?
I got to say that I was impressed with Green Bay, and like all the people that got up on stage that were, from all over the United States that were either being drafted or announcing a draft pick or talking about how, nice the people were, and they've been many places in the world, and no one is as nice as Green Bay. It's the same thing we hear in Minnesota. So, I felt good about that, and I like that, and I felt that myself too. But just walking around for 4 days and seeing green and yellow in every corner of the world made me a little ill.
Yeah, not a lot of dining and or entertainment options in that cottage town, let's say. So, how many butter burgers did you have at Kroll's West?
Yeah. That's exactly right. Within walking distance of our hotel, and we thankfully were at the Best Western, right next to the stage of the draft. It was great. But yeah, there were 9 restaurants walking distance, and all 9 of them were sports bars, and they had exactly the same menu.
Best Western, what was the Pump and Munch not available?
I always love that one.
Seriously, saying
Funny, when I checked into the Best Western, well, first I called ahead of time. They had me with 2 queens. I said, I'm a pretty big guy. I need a king-size bed. So I called 2 weeks ahead of time, and well, we have you poolside in a 2 queen. I said, no, I don't need the pool.
Yeah.
Let's go with the king. So when I got there, I said, just making sure I got my king-size bed. No, we have you poolside in 2 queens. I'm like, hey, man, I called. Can't you help me out here? Well, just a minute. So they had to look around. So she comes back and says, well, we do have 1 king-size bed, but is it okay if you're on the 2nd floor? Like, well, of course it's okay if I'm on the 2nd floor. All right. So they gets done. She goes, all right. So what you need to do is take the stairs right there. And I had, 2 pretty big bags. And I said, well, are there elevators? No, we don't have elevators. Okay. Well, that's why it was it okay to be on the 2nd floor?
I'm really glad you clarified that story, because you began it with, at the Best Western, they gave me a room that had 2 queens.
This show is naughty and might make you a potty mouth.
Like, Alan, you're a married man out there at Red Rocks Way in Colorado. We can, the batter, number 1, Alan Roach. What's the website if people want to get that done? I forgot.
Ballparkdj.com.
Yeah, that's cool.
They must do a lot of social media. I heard from a lot of people at the draft, people I didn't know that came up to me and said, hey, you keep popping up on InstaFace or whatever it is that, we're going to get my kids to do it. It's really worked out great. There's no complaints. Everyone is really excited about it. I'm doing, I don't know, man, about 500 names a day. I've done 25,000 names in 2 months, something like that. So there's a lot of kids out there that are getting smiles when they walk up to bat, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's, who doesn't need more mailbox money?
I always love that.
All right, this is Alan Roach. He's Slayton raised, and at Mile High Roach is how you follow him on Twitter. Voice of U.S. Bank Stadium, the Super Bowl, the NFL drafts, the Colorado Avalanche, and so on. So you got to announce all the Vikings picks, but like Donovan Jackson on Thursday, then the others after that. What, you being a tried and true Minnesota Vikings fan, Vox of all Voxes ever to Vox, what'd you think of our draft?
I'll be honest with you, PA. I sit there for 257 draft picks in 3 days. It's like more than I can comprehend.
Yeah, I agree.
Basically, what I did is I went on, MinnesotaVikings.com and I read about each one of their draft picks after it was over.
Same.
And then you get, people giving them the C+ grades and the B- grades and all of that. Nobody's going to know for a couple of years what it is. I think the Vikings had some needs, and they went out and looked for that, and that's what they got. No, they didn't pick up 6 more picks by moving up and down and all of that. I've told you many times, ever since the beginning, I have faith in Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah that they have a plan, and not everybody's plan works every single time, every single minute you turn around. I think that this team is much better than it was 3 years ago, and I think it will be better 2 years in the future than it is right now. And so I think that's exactly what you want in leadership.
You got some work in a couple of nights at Ball Arena, and your beloved Colorado Avalanche, they're in the belly of the beast right now. And I know you and I will either text more than people know or mess around on the radio show with like the Wild and the Avs and the Wild and stuff, and shoe size contests and stuff like that. But Your Avs are in a legit meat grinder right now, right?
Well, the Avs were the lesser seed.
Oh, come on.
I mean, Dallas should have been the team that was the favorite. I think the reason they weren't is because they'd lost, was it 7 games or hadn't won in 7 games at the end of the season.
Their 2 best players are not
Dallas
playing.
Won, I don't know, 6, 8 more games than the Avalanche did this year.
Okay.
But yet the Avalanche were listed as favorites. And I don't disagree with that, but it's no surprise that they're in a meat grinder.
Come on, Vox.
Dallas has been a very good team, one of the best teams in the NHL all season long. And the Avalanche have hung with them. The Avalanche have a chance to tie it up tomorrow night, actually Thursday night at Ball Arena, which I think they will do. And that's going to set up the Game 7, which everybody in hockey loves and what makes hockey better than any other sport when it comes to playoffs.
Hold on quickly.
Fox.
Are Robertson and/or Heiskanen playing?
They are not.
Neither one, right?
Fox.
Yeah, they haven't played, and it doesn't seem like they're going to.
Box. The Stars are down their best 2 players, and you get Landeskog back, and you got all the good players, Charlie Coyle and a bunch of different players with McKinnon. You're supposed to win this series. That's why you were favored. You're internalizing right now, and it's only going to come out more negatively and more sadly unless you let out what's happening right now, Alan.
What's happening right now? We're in a series. We have just as much chance to win the series as they do.
A good point. You're going Brandon Bean on me right now. That's a very good point. There's no doubt about it. So, that'd be great for all of Denver. You saw last night. Unfortunately, it was for only about 5 minutes of the game. Yeah, that's 6-2.
But when the game was quote unquote over in the middle of the second period, when the Avs are down 3-0, they scored 2 goals in 3 minutes, and all of a sudden things got real tight there in Dallas.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, 2 minutes later, they scored a couple of goals themselves, but that's how fast the Avalanche can turn things around.
No doubt.
And that's what the Avs did in game number 4 at home the other night. They smashed them 4-0, and that it can be a repeat of that Thursday night in Ball Arena. So I think the Avalanche, yes, they're in a meat grinder. Yes, Dallas is down, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Let's play 2 games and see what happens.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens with the Wild tonight as a 7 seed tied against Vegas, the 2. Here we go, Paul! We're on the road tonight. We'll see what happens, beloved Box. Hey, I love you very much. It is a ballpark.
I am pulling for the Wild all the way.
I know you are.
Not only because I despise Las Vegas, but because I want all the Wild/Viking fans to be happy and like me until the Wild play the Avalanche.
The batter, number 1, Alan Roach. All right, got to go. Love you. Thanks for the good times.
Great show today, PA.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Alan Roach, I thought he went Brandon Bean on me at the end and was kind of mad. All right, talk to you guys tomorrow from the Vikes facility. Bye-bye.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.